Hello, this is Mahayana here with you for about 20 minutes. You're very, very welcome. This is meditation and contemplation made for you for the month of December, which includes quite a lot of events. We've got winter solstice, we've got Christmas, of course, Thanksgiving is just gone, and happy belated. And then we, of course, have the new year. And I'm preparing something which I'm going to do once a month based on years and years of teaching and working with people through mentorships, one-on-one and sessions, which is to share with you uh, at the rate of one per month, one hurdle that practitioners on their self-realization journey usually encounter. And so I invite you to take the next few minutes to yourself. And if you need to pause the video now, close the door, or close down all your windows, put your phone on mute, etc., then go ahead and do so. I'll be right here waiting for you. Thank you. So we're going to use the number one step in the method that I put together. Not mine, of course, it's eternal ancient knowledge put together in a way that can be used by the modern men and women today. And the first is concerned with being present, not only while you're here on your own in meditation, but also throughout your day. So on in the NBR, I call it the BBC, body breath connection. And for some of you, it takes but a second. So go ahead and switch into your inner being right now if you know exactly what to do. And if you're unfamiliar or if you're unsure how to do this, it's just about connecting with your body. So you can close your eyes for now. As a beginner's practice, closing the eyes is always easier. And you can send your consciousness to connect with the ground, Mother Earth, the sole of your feet, and the contact with your shoes or socks or slippers or barefoot on the ground, whatever you're wearing or not wearing. You're sending your consciousness, you're not looking with your eyes. And we are acknowledging the body as well. And so you can feel the contact that you're making with the chair, your buttocks on the chair or the sofa or the floor, and the back of your chair. Or if you're sitting without a back, then just your spine should be reasonably straight. Doesn't need to be poker straight, stacked on itself. It mustn't be an effort to uphold. And you can go ahead and drop your shoulders, your jaws, release your knees, ankles, shoulders, wrists, elbows, hips, all the joints. And next, have a look, witness your breath. You can't take a breath, breath is breathing you. So just check how you're breathing. Is it shallow? And if it is, it's okay. We're not judging. We're not trying to do any different. We're just looking through the eyes of consciousness, which I call the inner being, source in you. And so just check the breath. Usually by being observed, the breath can do its work of deepening, widening the diaphragm and doing what it needs to do to reach deeper into your cells, into your lungs, and to recycle some of the air that never gets breathed out at the bottom of the lungs. And we'll have a quick look at what thoughts are there. So you can witness what kind of thoughts are in you right now. They could be curiosity, impatience, boredom, excitement, expectations. It doesn't matter what they are. The point is, consciousness sees that they are, and you can let them pass by like clouds. Also, they use in meditation. I prefer to use passers-by with white t-shirts. You can allocate a thought per person or per dog passing by. You can have a little fun with that. The point is, you're not getting up and chatting to your thoughts as you usually do. And again, whether there's one or two or a whole array, it doesn't matter. Next, let's do the same with emotions. What kind of emotions are in you right now? We're not analyzing, judging, comparing. We're just acknowledging through the eyes of consciousness. So anything goes. We're just allowing it to be there. We're acknowledging it. We're not denying it. We're just not engaging with it right now. And as you check back on your breath, let's just see if it's any different than when we started a few minutes ago. And this is basically the state of conscious awareness or meditation if you're doing it sitting down with your eyes closed. And this is if you're a practitioner for a number of years, this is something you can drop into. So absolute consciousness, not being identified with either thoughts, emotions, or your physical vehicle, the three attributes. There's only three attributes, but rather with your inner being. And if you can switch into that as you walk in the supermarket, down the corridor to some kind of meeting, or on the way to meeting your family, while you're cooking, shopping, doing business, picking up the kids, etc. You've switched into pure consciousness. So this is the BBC. And really, depending on how much you've practiced this, you can drop into it in just a second, just with a breath. You can be, it's like a tweak. You can just tune in to your inner being rather than stay in your head, in your emotions, etc. And now that you're there, I want to ask you to identify the feeling of this. So this is going to help you. So I want you to identify how that feels, that state of being as consciousness, being as your inner being, which is your essential self, your incarnated spirit. How does that feel? And I want you to make a note of that, a mental note. You can even write it down if you like, because you need to recognize when you're either in with it or not with it. And whatever any other practice you do, it could be EFT, it could be Ho'oponopono, it could be anything that talks about clearing or deleting anything. This is a means to an end, don't forget. And the end is to be at zero or be at peace or be in a Zen zone. Simply be conscious as your inner being, which is usually compressed into nothing. It's just stifled beneath thoughts and emotion, repetitive thoughts and emotion. And this is a space which is still a means to another end, although this is really a beautiful space to work from, talk from, touch anyone from, cook anything from. But this is also the blank slate. If you're familiar with my work and you've read some of my book, in particular, the novel, I talked a lot about a blank slate, and this is another name for it. And if you're expecting for your talents, for inspiration, for healing of any kind, for anything at all, it can be received if your slate is free from anything else. So I'm asking you to know how that feels to you. And I'll give you mine as an example. Mine is absolute security, as if I have everything I need and I could die in this instant, I would be complete. So that's my associating words and feelings on it. But find your own. People have said over the years, this is pulled from courses, mentorships, one-off sessions, etc. Some people feel an expansion of the heart. It can be a kinesthetic feeling. Some people feel just love. Some people feel peace. So whatever you're feeling, just go ahead and declare it. Oh, I know when I'm as my inner being because I feel okay, good. And if you'll now take a conscious breath on that, this is anchoring, recording into your neural pathways how to get there quicker. So go ahead and inhale 3 deep, long breaths, taking your time, and exhale just as slowly, taking your time again. This feeling or this thought that helps you to identify how your inner being feels to you. And I want to invite you to really revel in that for a few moments and to get comfortable with your own presence and really get acquainted with this. I'm not talking about the subconscious here, anybody who does the Ho'oponopono. I'm not talking about the God out there. I'm talking about the incarnate spirit, the inner being. How does it feel? I say it, but if you want to call it she or he, it's whatever you want. But how does it feel? How do you know when you're connected? Hopefully you just associated a feeling or a thought with it. Because this is like a part of you that is always ready for you to tap into it, and yet seldom is. And this is really the key. This is the portal to everything that already sits within you that hasn't been accessed yet. No one else can give you anything else unless you know how to be there. Thank you for being here. I'm going to invite you to do a small exercise if you would like to for the next few weeks, is to have the courage to listen from that place, which is your inner being, all knowing. For the inner being is connected to your 3 attributes. And through the subconscious and the higher self is also connected to divine intelligence. And this is how your heart beats, your blood is filtered, your body digests, etc. So that part of you knows everything, your future and your past, your now, where it abides, of course. And I'm going to ask you if you would be willing to challenge yourself with listening in and asking it actually what's going on for you right now, independent of anything else that you're hearing out there. And this is a big challenge. You thought I was going to give you something for Christmas. I'm giving you a huge challenge. It's a challenge for people on the path of self-realization. Only those of you on it will be interested in that because it requires quite a lot of courage. It requires not taking whatever you hear at face value, but instead ask actually what is going on. I'm including all the buzzwords, everything you're listening to out there right now. Any and all of it. News, truth community news, regular news, anything. Scientific news, anything at all. financial, medical, all of it. And I would like to invite you to make notes of what your inner being says is going on for you. And my guess is that it'll be rather, if you're doing it well, if you're managing to remove the thought form of what you think is going on for you because you've been told, my guess is that you're going to be shocked. And this is going to be a drastically different affair from what you've been experiencing. This is very important training because if the internet suddenly went down tomorrow, how would you be? Would you feel lost without anyone telling you what's really going on? The only important thing on your path is your own trajectory, which affects your family, the people in your household, your friends, and your extended world, of course. But in your life, your path is your own inner path. And if you're willing to inquire as to what's going on, you may be surprised. You can be kind to yourself when you find out what that is. If you have feelings of missing out, etc., missing opportunities in particular, this is one of the tools, missed opportunities. I'll just give you one more thing before we finish. Missed opportunities is actually a clearing tool for people who have used the Ho'oponopono. And I'm going to say something a little bit controversial, which is that there is no missed opportunity. It's not possible to miss an opportunity. It's impossible, radically impossible. Why? Because if an opportunity had a reason and you were ready, then it would have happened. So the fact that it is missed, means that vibrationally speaking or experientially speaking, you were not up to speed with whatever you hoped to meet. Let that be of respite to you, so you can let go even the need to clean with candy cane. This is a season of candy cane. You can eat the candy cane if you want. But there is no such thing as missed opportunity. There is preparedness meeting luck. If you are prepared, if you're not prepared, it's not an opportunity for you. Okay. That's all I'm going to give you for today because that was actually quite a lot. I wish you the very, very best. I wish you to look in your heart now and really, really open the conversation with your inner being and ask not only what's going on, but what it needs from you. What kind of love it needs from you. What would it need to feel complete or seen or heard? And once you hear the answer, it could be the next day or a few days or a few weeks. There's no such thing as impatience on the path of self-realization. Then you can go ahead and grant you whatever was requested of yourself. I wish you a wonderful, happy new year, 2024. I won't be back before January. In January, we'll do another point, which people often have a challenge with on their path. Until then, from the deepest of my heart, I wish you the very best. Much love. See you soon.